Hey everyone, I just wanted to jump in before we started this week's episode. I wanted to give a huge shout out to Matt Garcia. He is the first patron for my Patreon account, and I very much appreciate his support through that. You can go check that out over at patreon.com/Floor-Academy. I have also launched the Floor Academy website, flooracademypod.com. There is a link to sign up for an email list, and I will be starting a monthly newsletter here soon. I'm also going to start putting out emails when the new episodes release, and there is a shop as well, and you can go and pick up your Floor Academy hoodie, beanie, t-shirt, magnets. Go ahead, check it out, and that'll also help support the show, and it will continue to grow as the show evolves. Once again, thank you everybody for your support and continuing to listen in every week. I very much appreciate it, and here's today's episode. The Floor Academy podcast is sponsored by Tralama, the trade labor marketplace, where businesses can find skilled trade labor, such as flooring installers, and where flooring installers and other skilled tradespeople can find permanent or project work. You can set up your profile at tralama.com, TRALAMA.com, or download the app from the Apple App Store or Google Play. And remember, Tralama is always free for skilled tradespeople. Welcome to the Floor Academy podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Hedin, owner of Illustrious Hardwoods in Phoenix, Arizona. We are here to talk with flooring professionals from all across the country about the issues that matter to you. This week's guest is Bill Baillie. Bill is a full-time physical education teacher and owns Bill Baillie Home Repair and Remodeling in Toms River, New Jersey. With a background in plumbing from hanging out with his dad as a youth, Bill has always loved working with his hands. In order to supplement his teacher income, Bill was doing handyman work, which turned into much more over time. He is CTI 1394, which is more of a test for himself than anything else. Keep listening to find out how Bill does projects with a limited time schedule, uses his CTI to his advantage, and balances work and home life to keep everything running as smoothly as possible. Bill Baillie, are you on the line?
Yes, here I am. How's it going?
Oh, it's great. Welcome to the Floor Academy podcast. I appreciate you joining me.
Oh, this is great. I mean, when you reached out the other day, I was pretty stoked and excited that, just someone was reaching out to, I guess want to hear my story. So I thought I was blown away by that. So I'm truly honored to be a guest on here, and I hope that, I hope everyone enjoys my story. So.
Well, you've got an interesting one. So why don't let's dive into it. Why don't you give us a little bit of background, and we will find out how you even stumbled into the tile world that you participate in.
Sure. So again, for those of you who don't know, my name is Bill Baillie, and I have my own company. It's Bill Baillie Home Repair and Remodeling LLC. And I live in Toms River, New Jersey. So I'm right near the Jersey Shore. And not only do I have my own business, I am a full-time teacher. I'm a phys ed teacher, and I'm an elementary phys ed teacher. I teach K through 5 at a local elementary school that's about 20 minutes from me. And I've been teaching. I got my teaching degree in 2004. And I was hired in 2005. So, full-time teacher. I still currently teach. And because of, I'm off on summers. And I know a lot of other teachers have side businesses. They may paint, they may lifeguard, waitress, waiter. Everyone seems to have a side gig going on. And I have my own side business where I do interior trim work, drywall, and full bath remodel. And lately now it's pretty much, that's kind of my niche is full bath remodels. And I'll, do everything from start to finish. I go in and gut it, and I try to tread lightly when I do plumbing, and I'm going to touch on that. So.
Okay.
I grew up following my father's footsteps. My father was a licensed plumber in town, and he was a very good one. And my father was a plumber in Forked River, New Jersey. And so as a kid, I mean, I was 5 years old, following him around on a job site, and we were on full new construction homes, and we would go in and do the rough, do the finish, and my dad would do all the boiler work, and he was great with boilers, heating. He loved boilers. He loved going to conferences, and he went down to Atlantic City a lot, and I think he started doing some speaking because at one point he was president of the Southern Ocean Counties Plumbers Association, I believe.
Okay.
And my dad did pass. He's no longer with us. But the knowledge that I got from him is, that's where I am today. I mean, I couldn't have been what I'm doing right now if it wasn't for my dad, and I think, I think it's not just me. I think there may be a lot of people out there listening that may have a very similar story in regards to that. I mean, I just grew up following my dad, and I loved it. I love my dad. I wanted to be with him all the time, and I just wanted to be like him,
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily a plumber, but I just wanted to be in the trades of some sort. Now, as my father was getting older, he was, or just before he passed, he was taking his inspector's license to become an inspector because he was getting tired of going underneath crawl spaces and just chasing money from contractors that weren't, or general contractors that were a little behind in their game. So when I was getting older, he said, I want you to go, like, if you want to become a licensed plumber, if you want to go into the trades, I'll support you 100%. But he encouraged me really to just go to college and become a teacher so I can get my pension and my benefits and health insurance.
Okay.
So that's what I did, but leading up to that, I just always, again, was on the job site with my dad. And not only was I, learning plumbing, but my dad's he threw me into different other situations for work, really. He just pawned me off to other but even I think I was in, middle school, and he'd pawn me off to other plumbers, and I'd be digging holes all summer, hooking up water lines. So, for summers, I would just dig holes.
Yeah.
But I was learning how to use machinery, the mold that goes underneath the ground, and we can shove the pipe through. And so we wanted to dig 2 holes. Just learning other contractors' way of how they work, not
Mm-hmm.
just, because I was comfortable with my dad,
Yeah.
but he didn't want me really being comfortable. It's like, all right, you're going to go help this person. You're going to go help that person. And I followed people around. I watched people work, and I just took it all in. And I think, I don't know, the value of just being around certain people and just watching all the time, and then getting the confidence to say, "Here, let me do it." That was huge,
Well, so it sounds like you were pushed to get a wide variety of education, and that was very important. And then your dad also demonstrated that through being involved with local associations, and
Yes.
if he was a speaker, then he was somebody of some notoriety in his industry at one point. And so I think that's really important in that a lot of guys get stuck in, this is the way I've been doing it 30 years, I'm not going to change. And you were forced to look at it from, how can I take all of these people's knowledge and put it together to make a better fit and make something be more productive, or do it faster, or maybe this way's better than that way, but the other way takes a little bit longer but ends up better. You know, you were able to
Yeah,
get a lot more out of it. And so,
absolutely.
how did you really, like, you said your dad kind of wanted you to go to
So,
school and get the degree. Like, did you want to be a teacher and pursue that route, or was it you were always more
I
interested in the
it
trades? Like,
was
how'd that work?
yeah. I mean, I grew up playing soccer. I played soccer for a college for 1 year, and then I played soccer so much. Once I got to college, I didn't want to play anymore. I got burned out. This wasn't fun, and yeah, I just didn't want to do it anymore. And quite honestly, my mind was already actually into boats. I loved at that time going into college. I mean, so not only was my dad, my father was a big influence on me being plumbing, but also growing up for part-time work, I worked for a local marina and I did maintenance for them. I did dock work, anything around the marina that needed work. I was the guy fixing stuff.
Okay.
And while I was there, I was learning, boat repair, fiberglass work. I was kind of tinkering, helping guys tinker around on engines and everything, and running the forklifts and everything at the marina. So even just having that experience, I was like, I was always using tools, and I think learning how to use different tools and big tools, little tools, just being able to work with my hands, I think now was just very helped with all of the gross, gross motor skills, I think, and being coordinated with your fingers. And it's just, that was a big thing, just working for another company and working around machinery and working around other guys. Again, I think was just another stepping stone for me. Again, just being in the workplace,
Well, okay, but you're like, I could hear it in your voice. Like, you love talking about like doing stuff with your hands, and like anything you can like go and learn a little bit about, like you're going to do it.
Yes.
So how do you become a teacher? Like, why are you not a full-time contractor?
So again, you were going back to, did you want to become a phys ed teacher? And I was like, the answer is, at the time, because I was kind of into boats, and I was like, all right, my plan was, let me become a teacher. I'm going to have off in the summers. This way I can just fish all all summer.
Oh, there it is.
And that never happened. I have a boat and I look at it, but now that I'm a teacher and I have all this time off in the summer, no, that doesn't happen. Now I have my own business, and really, things started to shift a little bit during college. During college, my father hooked me up with a contractor out in Trenton, New Jersey, and so I would go to class. Also, let me backtrack. Whatever I did, I played soccer for Central Connecticut State. I played 1 year, but because I didn't want to play soccer anymore, I transferred to the College of New Jersey. When I transferred over, there was a really talented contractor out there that did additions. He didn't do full blown houses, but we did pretty sizable additions. Whether it would be take a roof off and put a second story up, or just blow out the back and do a foundation and start framing. So it was there when I was with a gentleman. His name was Kenny, and he was the main worker there. And this guy was I thought he was amazing, and I worked with him and watched him. I learned framing working with the company. So for 4 years, I would go to school, I'd go to class, and then sometimes after class, I'd meet him on a job, and then weekends it was work.
Okay.
And I think just growing up, that's how my life always been. It's like I've kind of always worked. Come weekends, I'm working with tools. I always seemed to I was always building and working with something.
Yeah.
So working with Kenny and working for that company, that kind of was the last little step where I started to learn enough where I was doing stuff on the side, or I could just, I'd just do stuff on my own,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in my early 20s then. So with that, so I learned how to do framing and, the big construction. And then because of the owner who knew my dad, I kind of got sucked in doing doing his plumbing work in the rough houses or in the addition. So we'd frame out a bathroom, and he'd be like, Bill, all right, we need hot and cold here. Shower diverter's going here. This is where the tub's going. This is where the toilet's going. And so my dad would sometimes just pull the permit for if we're whatever we were dealing with. My father was alive at the time, so he'd pull the permit, but then I would be doing the work for that particular job. So I'd be working under my dad.
Okay.
So I started doing a lot of work for this guy on my own, and again, it just stepping out of my comfort zone. I was like kind of freaked out too. I was like, really, Dad? Like, should I do this? And he's like, yeah, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. That's
So
the
I
best
would
way
do
to learn,
that.
though, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get uncomfortable to grow.
Yeah. So sorry if I'm all over the place a little bit, but
No, you're good. You're good.
So we were framing. I do, I do the rough plumbing for this particular builder, or the rough plumbing. And then on days that it was rainy out and we weren't on the job site, we'd be in the shop. And then this dude Kenny, who I did a lot of work for, we would build custom bars, and I learned a lot of woodworking through him when we did basements. So we did some basement remodels, and we'd build bars. So I learned cabinet basics,
Okay.
building cabinets. So with my side work, I mean, I do trim work. I do built-ins now. I build, drawers and raised panel doors. I kind of put myself out there and be like, all right, I'll do that, and then figure it out.
Yep.
So how I got into tile, now that I'm leading up, and you can kind of see, like, I do have an extensive background in a bunch of little things. I kind of, I knew bathroom layouts. I was doing stuff on my own. Oh, hold on. Let me back up first. Let me back up.
All right.
So I'm a teacher. So I'm teaching. I get hired, and so when I first got hired, I was coaching soccer for 5 years for the high school that I worked for. So I was coaching soccer, and after 5 years, I realized again, it's like, I'm kind of back to where I was when I was playing soccer. Like, I kind of got burned out, and I really didn't want to do this anymore. So I decided that once I was done teaching or coaching, and that was kind of like my little extra side cash, that's when I just dove in and started my LLC for my company. And I rode around in a Ford Explorer, and I had my tools all organized in the back of an Explorer, and I was going around doing handyman stuff. And so it was quite funny.
So I
got a couple calls. Go ahead.
You were doing the trade work and had the company before you became a full-time teacher.
I didn't have my company before I was a teacher. I was doing side stuff just like to help people out,
Okay.
Or, do a couple little things. So I was kind of, like I said, just growing up, I was always fixing something or doing something for somebody. And it wasn't until I stopped coaching where I was like, you know what, like the amount of work that I've been doing, like I'm kind of foolish to not just like, I'm going to start my own company, because up to that, like I was buying tools. I was always, I was interested in certain building materials and products, and and that was my thing. Like, I started really diving into it, and I just loved, not to sound corny, but I loved wearing a tool belt. You know, even growing up when I was with Jack, like, I loved wearing a tool belt, and I wanted to be like Norm Abram, you know? So, if Norm Abram is listening, I would love to come hang out with you. So I started doing some handyman stuff for a couple people that called me up, and I was like hanging some picture frames and, you know, a couple pieces of trim on. And so it was like a month after that, then a friend of my brother-in-law's, he calls me up and goes, Bill, he's like, I want you to do a bathroom for me. I was like, all right. So the first, I would say, you know, first bathroom that I kind of did with my LLC, he wanted this ungauged slate for the floor. He wanted radiant heat flooring, you know, big walk-in shower, you know, custom glass. And I was like, you know, freaking out. But I was like, yeah, all right, I'll do it. And I was like, whoa, what did I just do? So I started, like I said, I'm in my Ford Explorer. Like, here I am, like, demoing a bathroom and have all my stuff.
Yep.
So it was then where I went to a local tile company where I can pick up quality products. And I was doing some research before, you know, even starting the job with the radiant floor, the electric radiant floor heat, and the products to use that was going to be the proper setting materials and installation methods.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just, I mean, I tried. I mean, I made mistakes. I think I think everyone has. So I definitely have made my share of mistakes and learned from them. But I tried my best to try to just figure out, all right, what is the best proper way to do this bathroom with these materials. And I went over to the local tile place and I asked questions, and they were great with giving me some information as well. And then they, you know, just going back and forth a little bit there, they invited me to a contractor's night. And all the local contractors came over for some of the local, I wouldn't say local, but some of their companies that they were selling their products. And when they would do demos,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like super stoked for it. I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And I showed up, and I was just thrilled and excited of how much information I learned. And I wasn't a type of person that would sit there and just say, well, I already know this already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could watch, even to this day, I'll watch, you know, just basic videos on how to do something. Maybe I'll just watch it just because maybe I missed something, you know?
Yeah.
But I found that to be very educational for me. And then I would build off of every job that I would do, and I would buy another tool that make things easier. I would buy new products that I haven't used just to try to make things faster and easier, because my time was limited. I worked on weekends and evenings because I do this on the side.
Yeah.
So I went out and I bought a lot of I bought.
Yeah, you can name products.
High quality. I dove into the Festool products, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I dove into, you know, a lot of the, you know, DeWalt and Milwaukee, you know, like this big brand names, and I would just, all right, if I have this, you know, this is going to make my job easier, faster. And again, like I was saying, my time's limited when it comes to weekends and evenings. And I don't know if being a teacher as well, I was not necessarily a teacher, but being at school, like during my prep or during when I have time off, I would be just planning like almost my movements on what am I going to do when I get to the job site? Like, how am I going to try to keep it, like be as fast as possible, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought I was doing pretty good until I got onto some of these tile forums. When I first started, and I started seeing some of the people that were posting their work, and I was blown away of their talent. And people saying they tiled this in so many hours, and I was like, whoa, I'm doing something wrong because I'm super slow now.
Yeah, no, it's very humbling. In fact, I was watching the Global Tile podcast yesterday, and so it was Luke Miller and Jason McDaniel, and then the guy that's putting together the Gilded Trowel Award for like tile people internationally.
Yeah.
And Jason McDaniel was like, man, I thought I was pushing the envelope and stuff. And then I started looking at these pictures for the Gilded Trowel Award, and I was like, nope. I was like, when you see somebody like that, like he puts out really good work. Him and his crew put out amazing work. And, to have somebody that's on another level compared to a lot of people say like, oh man, that was humbling. Like I'm nowhere close. Like there's always a bar to continue to like get over.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's the way you need to look at it. So I think getting involved in the groups is the first like eye-opening experience for a lot of people. Like, man, I thought it was good, but like, whoa.
Well, so I joined these groups, and I feel like I stumbled upon them, the groups, and I started watching, and then they started talking about this CTI test, and I'm like, what's this CTI test? And at this point, I've already, I've tiled. I mean, I wouldn't say I was a professional tiler by no means. But I had, the enough basics there and the tools that I had to, I'm watching this tile test. And I was always big in trying to get a certification of some sort, just as maybe a challenge and just to prove. It's just to prove to myself that I can do it, and I can just I try to be the best at what I do.
Okay.
I didn't want to be like a lot of the other. Again, it's just, I guess it's a tough critique, but there's a lot of. I wanted to be someone that was highly recommended.
Yeah.
I didn't want people to I wanted to be recommended, and if someone recommends me, I wanted a good recommendation, and I wanted people to talk highly of me.
No, I mean, I get it.
And I think I just wanted to have a great reputation,
yes.
So I tried to do the best I can.
Well, and the certs can help differentiate you from people because not everybody has them. And so,
right.
It's one of those questions of, why should I get certified? What's it going to do for me? It's going to do whatever you make it do. At the end of the day, it's going to do whatever you make it do. And that you wanted to be able to make it do something for you.
So, and it did. I mean, being a CTI was, as far as my business goes, I think it was one of the best decisions and moves that I've made. I think, not from a financial standpoint, I don't think so, but just knowledge and contacts of people that I've met along the way has been priceless, and I think that's, as far as the CTI, I know there's a lot of people with their own opinions and debates, but just the knowledge and the meeting people, that is absolutely priceless.
Well, you took your CTI in an interesting class of individuals. So who was at your CTI test?
So I joined these groups and I see people posting the CTI and I see that they're going to have one an hour and 15 minutes from where I live. And I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, I am foolish if I don't try it. I already saw, I saw a couple people. I should say, certain people that were always commenting on the sites, showing their work, and they were going to take the test there. And, some of those, can I say their names?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw that there was Ken Ballin that was going to be there. He was going to take it. There was Carl the Flash Leonard. He was taking the test there. Donnie D.
Yep.
He was taking a test. And Pete Krajkowski, I believe how to say his name. Pete was he was about half hour from me. He was taking the test, and I really didn't know who Donnie and Pete were, but I knew who Carl and Ken were just from the tile forums. So when I got there, I mean, I was so nervous. So, so I mean, like I took 2 days off. No, I took a day off. Yeah, I took 2 days off from work. I took 2 sick days to go to Cherry Hill to take this test, and it was, when I was going there, I was like, oh, I'll have it all prepped in my mind, like what I'm going to do. And by the way, I have a big trailer, so I with my tools in it. I have a 7x14 trailer that I tow now. So I, bring my trailer out there. I have it all set up, and have everything organized, and I'm ready to go. So I took the test, and by the time I was done with the test, I mean, I just finished. I mean, I was worried that I wasn't going to finish. I finished within, I think, just a couple of minutes.
Okay.
And by the time I finished, I was not happy with my work. I was exhausted. I was like mentally defeated, physically defeated. And I saw other people's modules, and I was like, man, I don't think I passed. And I heard Ken kind of saying like, oh, if we're the first group in New Jersey to pass, like this is going to be, I guess, something to celebrate about, because I don't think there was any other classes that everyone passed. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think that was one of the big things about your class, was that everybody passed, and that never
everyone
happened.
passed.
Yeah.
So I was stressed out. Like, am I going to be the guy that lets everyone down?
Damn handyman! How dare you show up?
So after I was done, I just felt that, oh, wow, I just kind of made it through this along with everybody else. And it was then I was kind of finally like relaxed enough where I was able to talk to other people. Because at first I was pretty quiet, I thought, and just thinking about what I had to do. So anyway, I was just super defeated. And by the time I was done, I looked at all my tools in my trailer, and I was like, I'm selling my trailer. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was just like, I was done. And then, the next day I had a good night's sleep, and I woke up and I was really sore, but I was like, you know what? I still love what I do, whether I pass or fail. And sure enough, a couple weeks later, I get a call from, who was it? I forget the gentleman's name, but anyway, I got the call saying that we all passed.
That's so cool.
And it was it was a cool feeling. It was a great accomplishment. So since then, again, even though I passed the CTI, I didn't, by no means thought I was king of the world or, the best tile setter out there, but it was more just a challenge. And I was like, all right, if I did pass the CTI, then maybe as far as confidence goes and seeing what other people do, maybe I'm kind of like just there. I'm able to hang with people, and I must be doing something right, So it was more of a bit of a confidence boost, And then so I started posting some of my work, and I have some pretty good feedback, I feel like. And again, it's just the positivity and being able to just challenge myself has really gotten to me where I'm at today.
No, I think that's so cool. Like, you started off as like, I'm just going to kind of do something. And then you ended up taking, the test is really hard. Like everyone says, like, I'm physically exhausted. I'm mentally exhausted. Like, it's just a very hard day to take that test. And
it is.
You overcame, and you have a cert now, and you can advertise yourself a little bit differently. So let's kind of talk about your business. And so,
okay.
Obviously, like you've stated, hey, I've got to do nights and I'm doing weekends, and then you get the summer.
Yeah.
It's not typical contractor stuff. So how do you go and bid a job and get somebody to give you a shower when you're like, yeah, I can come over for 3 hours in the evenings?
So I think I'm lucky enough, because I'm a teacher, I don't advertise. I don't have anything on my trailer. I don't have anything on my truck. I have a logo. I have T-shirts. I have a logo made. I would love to have it on my trailer and truck, but I'm worried about. I mean, I'm struggling enough as it is because I'm a one-man show.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick up a guy here and there when I need one, but I don't have employees with me, and I'm busy. I'm extremely busy, and I struggle trying to keep up with everything, but I make it happen. Now,
That's amazing, though. There's guys that run full-time crews and they can't stay busy. They do this all the time. They can't stay busy, and here you are, like,
yeah.
you're booked.
I'm booked. I have. So I'm working on a bathroom right now, a bathroom and a kitchen in the same house. They had a leak. But after this, like, I have 3 other full baths, like, lined up that I'm just trying to get to.
Before school starts, right?
well, probably not.
Okay.
But so even though I'm part-time, I do bathrooms I bathroom remodels during the school year as well. And I go in, I tell people that I'm a teacher. I said, listen, people are starting to see my work. I mean, I don't say I advertise, but I have a business Facebook page, and I'll post my work up on there, or sometimes I'll post on Facebook, and everything's through word of mouth and just people knowing someone else, and they refer me, and I go in and I bid on a bathroom, and I tell them, I said, listen, as long as they have a second bathroom, people seem to wait for me. And I'm straight up honest. I said, listen, it's going to be weekends. It's going to be some evenings. If you're okay with that, then I'm okay with that. But as long as I'm going to do my best to be here when I can. And they go for it.
The key there is that you're open and you're communicating and, you're upfront and honest. And I think that goes a long way.
I was going to touch on that as well, because I am very open to my customers on what's going on. I mean, not too personal, but I just, as far as what I'm doing today or what my plan is or what my plan is for the week, I think customers seem to like that. And I think they know too, like, they trust me, they give me the keys to the house. I walk in and I do my thing. Sometimes they're not there. They give me the code, and I don't have a parade of people coming in and out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people are comfortable with that as well. Having me just kind of do my thing, which I kind of prefer it. Like, I don't like people over my back. Like, just, I don't really want to talk. Just let me do my thing. And, but yeah, people wait. I mean, I tell them that, I bid on a job and this is what's going to happen. This is how much it's going to cost. And they say, okay, and they wait,
mm-hmm. Well, and a lot of it, like you said, if it's a lot of word of mouth, then everyone, they already know the story before they're calling you up. It's not like they're calling up 3 random people and you're coming in with like the weirdest story of how you're going to bid their project and get it done. Yeah. They already know, like, you're a teacher, this is your deal. Yep. And so, how do you balance that all? I mean, okay, so with obviously being a phys ed teacher, you're not getting the homework to grade after hours and things like that. So I guess that frees up a little bit of your time, right?
It does free up some time. So I'll do estimates, and I'll put together a whole material list on a bathroom, when I can, like during my prep time or lunchtime. And, so I'm pretty organized, I should say, and I try to be efficient. So I'm just doing, like I said, prep time. I'll do estimates, and then I don't have kids.
Okay.
So I don't
there's where the evenings come in. Okay.
So I am married. I have two dogs. I have a chocolate lab and a yellow lab, and So I mean, I just make a commitment. So once I do start a bathroom, now I don't do it, throughout the whole year. But lately, it seems like they've been kind of one bathroom closes, something else is coming up. But it's a grind, and I'm not going to lie. There's times where I got to take a weekend off, or, I just I tell them listen, I'm going fishing, or I just need a day to not pick up something, because I do get frustrated at times, and I do get tired.
Yeah, no, I get it. Trust me.
So even though, I am motivated. So I am motivated from having my own business. And if someone calls me, for an estimate, I am motivated by that, because, wow, they want me to come out and check something out, or want me to do something, do some work. So that's motivation there. But then, like I said, there's times where I get frustrated because I'm getting calls, or a friend of mine says, "Oh, someone needs work done. Can you get over here?" And it gets frustrating, because it's just leave me alone.
Yeah.
I need 5 minutes. I need a weekend.
Yes. Well, and look,
not everyone sees that. Some people are like, "Can you come over here this weekend and do this?" They have some emergency repair to do, and it's it's fine, I'll come over. And I feel like sometimes when I try to please too many people, that's when I get the frustration, and that's when I get a little aggravated.
Yes. No, and
because I start pleasing too many people, and instead I'm not pleasing myself.
Correct. You keep putting yourself out there, and you put yourself out there, and then you let the business run you. And that's something that I've really been learning this year as well. I've been on my own. It'll be 3 years September, I think.
Okay.
So, this year there's been a lot of stuff happening, and people are like this, that, and the other thing, and I'm like, no. I need time. I'm shutting down for the weekend. I'm not doing anything. Just stop. And even you and I, we went back and forth about, I was like, hey man, I got Thursday and Friday. We can do it in the evenings. And then it didn't. And then you were like, I'll reach out on Saturday. And then that didn't happen. And I was like, hey man, didn't hear from you.
Yeah.
You told me on Friday. And I was like, forget Saturday. Let's enjoy the holiday. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And so, it just has to stop at some point, and you have to be able to regroup, slow down, think about everything, re-strategize, and then you need to walk away. It can only, you can't go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week all the time. You can, and the reason I needed it was the past month on me has just been brutal, and I'm, great. Look, the bank account looks amazing, but that's not everything, when I've got an upset wife and kids and people are pulling me left and right, it's not always worth it.
No. And, now for myself here in Jersey, again, when I talk about my boat, when I look back, I'm like, all right, what was the main purpose that I had the business? And it's like, oh, well, I wanted to have enough side cash to buy some fishing gear so I can go fishing. That still was always.
But you own a boat, so you never have any extra money.
That was always a goal of mine, to just, when summers came or weekends came or striper season came, I wanted to be out there and go fishing. Mm-hmm. And so just recently, now the summer's here, I tell everyone, weekends, I'm shutting it down. It's my time. I'm off on the weekends.
Good for you. Good for you.
So, but, back to the school year, when I seem to be working quite a bit, you have to keep in mind that am I working a lot? Yes. But as a phys ed, and again, I don't know if there's any teachers out there, but as a phys ed teacher, it's we go out there and we play games with the kids, and it's not there's times where I get bored, and
you're telling me that 6-year-olds aren't super entertaining trying to learn soccer. Come on now. That's not frustrating at all.
So it gets frustrating, but there's times where I get bored of it, and so doing after work, if I go and do some sheetrock repair, or if I go put up a couple pieces of trim or whatever little project that I'm working on, mentally at that time, it's a total switch off. I mean, I'm going from a teacher to now I'm just working with my hands. So same thing with the weekends. When weekends come, I'm kind of looking forward to doing something because I kind of feel pretty good after that job's done. It is very rewarding. Now, again, not to say anything. Teaching's a very tough industry at the moment, where you put a lot of effort in, and you don't always see an instant result.
Yes.
Where doing what we do, Kyle, I feel like when you do something, even if you're tired, you're exhausted, you create something, and when you're done with that job, I feel like no matter how tired I am then kind of lifted up, and I'm like, man, that was worth it. I feel good about this.
Correct. And there's instant gratification all along the way, though. If you're doing some framing, you started with a couple of raw 2x4s, and now something's framed in, and so you can see the progress. You can't see the progress of a kindergartner to sixth grader. Over all of those years, you can see them kind of change and mold and form into a person, but you don't immediately get that through one day of teaching them baseball or making them do their push-ups or sit-ups. I get it.
Yeah. So, just having that total switch off is it's at that time, I mean, maybe it might feel like a hobby to me, and I enjoy doing it. But again, now I don't have employees. I did have a couple of young kids the last couple summers work for me, and then I was going to try to teach them. They reached out to me. They wanted to learn some of the trades, and I was like, sure, come work with me, and I'll teach you. And unfortunately, those two individuals they didn't work out.
Yeah,
they were lazy. They weren't interested. They show up late. They wanted to leave early, or they call out. They just, if I had a hard time wrapping my head around it, because when I was their age, I didn't care. I mean, I cared about how much I was getting paid, but as far as whatever I was getting paid, that was, I mean, I knew there was a bigger prize looking forward. I wanted to learn and watch and help, and because I enjoyed that.
Well, you knew you could get to the $100,000 a year. You just had to put in the time and sacrifice to get there. You didn't expect it day one. You knew there were steps, and you had to forge your own way up this mountain to get there.
Yeah,
it's a very different mindset with the kids these days.
It is. And I think, the people out there that have crews and employees, I give everyone out there a ton of credit, because I can understand why it may not be fun anymore, because even just having one person, that stressed me out, and I had a hard time relinquishing control, and, to do something that may be, just anything, or even especially the detail work and the finish work.
Oh, man, that's the hardest part.
I, to this day, still cannot, the people that I'm around, it was people that helped me to trust to do that. Now, with meeting Ken Ballin and going on to a charity project with him.
Oh, that was amazing.
I knew there was going to be some awesome, talented craftsmen out that were there, and I was like, hey, you know what? I have time. You're like, let me put myself out there again, and let me go down and help, and hopefully the work that I do, I could make them proud, I could make myself proud, and we could have a great day, and it was a great day. And watching other people that were there work, it pushes me to be faster, it pushes me to be better, and just to, be around them, watching them work. I'm like, wow, these guys are super talented, and, it's those people that would, I told them when I was leaving, can I say their names again?
Oh
too?
yeah,
I mean,
of course.
Yeah. So Ken Ackerman was there, and he was another New Jersey Tyler here that's a CTI that came in after our I guess class that did the CTIs. And I told him, I said, listen, I was like, if you ever just need a gopher for a job, like, call me, I'll come in and I'll help you. Like, I still recognize, like, I don't mind following someone that's a great craftsman, and I'll help them and just watch.
No, totally.
I think that's huge.
I am totally
Yeah.
with you. I would love to find a guy that does sand and finish work in my area that I don't know where I would find the time, but I would love to be able to try and learn on weekends or in evenings, or I'd have to find the time, but I would make it if I could find the right guy.
Yes. Time's a tough one,
Never enough.
Never enough time. But yeah, I mean, it's stressful having a crew, that's for sure. I should, even employee, and I could definitely understand the burnout. But I think, by myself, I'm doing a pretty good job of making money. Even that summer's here. I got big full bathroom remodels, and at times I play general contractor. I'm getting the electrician in, I'm getting the plumber in. Because when the bathrooms that I do pull permits on, I'll get the licensed people in there and rearrange everything, and away we go.
Okay. Well, so what's next for Bill Baillie Home Improvements? Like, where is this? If it continues to grow, would you quit being a teacher? Do you want to be the teacher? So you get, you got to put in your 20 years. You're going to get your pension. You're going to
It's a tough question to answer, because it's easy. It's very easy to say, yep, I don't want to teach anymore, because I would love to do what I'm doing. I would say full time, and maybe even get bigger than what I am right now. I would really like that, and I could probably make more money too. But it's that stepping out of the comfort zone, and at the moment, because I have my pension, I got benefits. It's tough to leave that.
Yeah.
That's a tough boat to jump out of. And at the moment, I just like I said, I don't have any kids at the moment, and I grind it out. Yeah.
Okay.
But like I said, summertime, I'm full speed ahead, and come school, things slow down a little bit as far as everyday work, but I still have pretty big jobs lined up. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, I don't know how the hell I just completed that, but I did.
Oh, all right. So how do you balance all of this with your wife? Because it sounds like, obviously right now is summer, you're taking weekends off, but it sounds like during the school year, you can be pretty busy, and like, you may not work every evening, but you're definitely going and putting in a couple hours a couple times a week, and that is taking time away from her. So how do you make that balance happen?
So I'm fortunate enough. My wife is a teacher in my same school. So yeah, she's a third grade teacher in the same school. So okay. I see her at work, and she I guess she likes the work that I do. She encourages the extra cash, and yeah, I mean, I think we have a great relationship. I mean, we do see each other a lot, but yeah, I mean, I try like weekends and everything. I do try to keep it as a normal schedule, and then when I get home, we go out to dinner, and we do try to balance it out as best we can to try to make time for each other.
Okay.
And it's knock on wood, everything's been great,
Well, there you go. A little bit of communication, a little bit of priorities, and it'll come together. It's when we let the business start running us that it runs into issues.
Exactly. And you just gotta look. you got to know when to shut it down and take some time for yourself, for sure.
Definitely. All right. Man, so much good stuff. I love that you have like pursued this lifetime learning. It seems like it was really instilled in you by your father, and it's continued to pay off. I mean, like you said, you were working with Ken Ackerman. You were like, "Hey man, I'll be a gopher," and you're a guy that knows a lot of stuff, and you're still like, I'll go and watch and learn. Like, that's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a great lesson for everybody. Putting yourself out there, trying to take the CTI and then passing when you're not fully confident and super nervous. And I think everybody's going, even guys that have been doing it 20 years ago, and they're super nervous, but I get it. It's not full time. It's kind of a part-time thing. And you went and did it, and you've got a way to advertise yourself, distinguish yourself, make you feel a little bit more confident. There's a lot going on with all of that.
Yes. And, just there's always going to be someone else out there that's better than you. And, and that pushes me. And I think it should push everybody else to step up their game and just, learn as best they can and try to be the best in the trade. And, and I think by just having great, what do you call it? Organization skills and great like business morals. And it's like, when I do a product for a customer, like this is going to be the best product that's out there. And I think if everyone can do that, it keeps raising everyone else up,
Well, and you don't have to be, there's a lot of times that, guys are like, I got to get better. I got to be 100% better tomorrow. And there's the school of like, I just need to be 1% better at one thing. And so if you can be 1% better at one thing the next day, and you do that over a year, it compounds on itself, and you actually get far, far better. So nobody needs to stress out. You just need to be better than you were yesterday, and it doesn't have to be by a lot. You just have to continue to work at it.
Yeah. So,
awesome. You going to teach any of these young kids? Go ahead.
Oops, sorry. You did mention, what's for, what else is, I guess, in store for Bill Baillie, and, quite honestly, I think, I would love to, because I think one of the big things too, I see on Facebook or on the sites, is everyone goes to the surfaces, and it's like a huge gathering of just industry leaders and people pursuing the industry. And I would love to, hopefully I would love to make it out there one day.
That's
and
amazing.
To meet a lot of the people that I see on the sites and, just shake hands with them and put a face to who I am. And, I want to be a part of just the high, elite team of craftsmen and tilers out there. Like I want to be a part of that, and, just talking today, I think, it's a great step in the right direction, but I want to be a part of that family,
You're in the look. I'm, in my opinion, I'm a nobody, man. I wanted this information for myself, and so I created a podcast. And I've just reached everybody I reach out to. They're like, "Yeah, man, I'll do that. I'll talk to you." So I'm nothing special. I got that same attitude as Ken. Like I'm no better than anybody else. In fact, I have tons to learn. So that's what I'm out here trying to do. But surfaces, man. I went last year. I was like a kid in a candy store. I was walking around wide-eyed the whole time, like, "Oh, what is this? What's going on? Ooh, what's this?" It was really cool. So I would highly recommend finding the time to go. And
would love to.
It's super
go out
enjoyable.
There and just hang out and talk to people, and that would be a great weekend. So
Bill, 100% appreciate you spending some time with us and giving us a little insight into you and your business and how it all kind of grew. And I look forward to continuing to see what you're putting out and doing and how you're growing.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, totally my pleasure. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And
you too.
If you can get some more fishing in, please try and go do so.
I'm going to try. And hey, like I told Ken, if you need someone out there in Arizona to help you, if I can try to find some time and and sand a floor for you or do something that you don't want to, I'll come on out.
I'll take you up if I can find the way to make it happen. I will take you up on that. Awesome.
So, hey, thanks so much.
You're welcome. Have a good day, Bill.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's all the time we have for this week. To keep the conversation going, head on over to the Floor Academy Facebook group. Be sure to subscribe so you can hear each and every episode. We can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and most major podcast directories. Don't forget to leave a review and let us know what you think about the show. If you would like to be a guest, have questions or feedback, you can email us at flooracademypodcast@gmail.com. You can help support the show by becoming a patron over at www.patreon.com/flooracademy. Remember to learn while you earn.